Track wrestling here in Denver, NWCA All-Star Classic with 174-pound winner Myles Amine of Michigan. Major decision win. What were you most pleased with your performance?
Definitely my top wrestling. I thought I could have done a better job of moving my hands and feet neutral, but sometimes, even though that's my favorite position in wrestling, I worked a lot this summer to get better on top. It's an area of my wrestling that, or most people's wrestling, that you kind of take for granted, and so I wanted to make it a mission to start the season off strong and really focus on riding hard on top. And so I was really impressed. I was just happy with how I rode on top.
What were you doing on top this summer? What kind of things were you doing to improve your skills there?
I've been riding legs my whole life, but my dad's been a big leg rider. But just putting myself in that position more, and then trying to get better in a crab position. We actually have our volunteer assistant coach Dave Boyard joined our staff, and I've been working really hard in the preseason with him, individually to get this crab ride down. We've been working a lot, and actually I got to hit it out there. I told him I'd hit it in the match and call it the Boyard, so there it is. That's the Boyard. It's he does a really good job of putting a short leg in and then sitting to a crab and pulling across. So a lot of just different positions, but mostly from a crab leg in.
You were in that position, maybe in a little bit of danger of defensive fall there.
Yeah.
What's the level of comfort there, or level of discomfort there, maybe?
Repetition in practice has really helped me get pretty comfortable in that position. And although I haven't really hit it in a match, it's my first time. I choose to remain comfortable in positions like that, because I know that if you just adjust properly, it's not going to be a big deal. So I was pretty comfortable. I saw him coming into me, and I did a good job of putting a half in and kind of pushing his hips away. So I was pretty comfortable.
Throwing yourself right in the fire, coming out and facing a returning All-American. What made you want to take part in this?
It's first of all, it's a prestigious event. We've had a lot of past and present wrestlers at the University of Michigan, a lot of history here, so I wanted to be a part of that. And also, I think a big thing for me coming out to this All-Star Classic was, I knew whoever my opponent was. I didn't know at first, because I was the first to accept, so I knew that it was going to elevate my training. Wrestling one of the top guys in the country, starting off the season, I knew it was going to hold me accountable to work that much harder every day. So it was that decision, and just the history we've had here.
Interesting times now in Michigan. Joe McFarland retired after last season. Sean takes over. You got some new blood on the coaching staff. Is it pretty much business as usual, or are there some subtle changes, or are there major changes?
I haven't noticed too many changes. Joe and Sean run a little bit of a different practice, I guess, but they were working pretty in unison a lot of last year. And to be honest, Joe really started to kind of hand over the reins. I think he knew that he was going to retire, so we saw a little bit of a taste of it last year. And either way, the biggest thing for me is just whoever my coach is or whatever it is, I always choose to stay positive, have a positive attitude, and we have a great coaching staff no matter what at the University of Michigan. Sean Bormet's the reason I came to Michigan, so it's an added bonus, having him as the head coach. And he's even out here with me right now. I kind of personally wanted him to be here just because he's such a big mentor and influence for me. So it's changes at Michigan, but everything's positive, I really have to say.
You go from third in the Big Ten as a freshman to second last year, fourth as a freshman at the NCAA Championships to third. What is it going to take to climb the ladder and get to the top of both of those podiums this year?
Just persistence and hard work, and continuing to just raise my level of wrestling. I think a lot of times in the sport, I think that you find a way to work hard, but you don't focus on certain areas. And so I've noticed that over my wrestling career, the more I've matured, that there's areas that you really do have to focus on. So just continuing to improve in those areas and adjust. I'll have an opportunity to wrestle both the guys that are ranked above me before the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament. So I'm really excited for those times, but just one match at a time. And I just love the sport, so I'm really excited to just wrestle this season, all the way through.
You got a couple years left, but as you look further down the line in a post-collegiate career, San Marino, right?
Yeah, we got something in the works.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people know about it, but as of now, I'll be wrestling for San Marino. Haven't wrestled my first match, but my mom's side of the family, all citizens there. So it's a small little country in Italy, and we're talking to Stefan, Dave Habit about it, and we're like, well, if I can get international experience right from the get-go, and it's just credit to the USA program how tough it is, but I just think having that international experience, being able to go to multiple tournaments, not having to worry about making a roster, is just going to make my wrestling that much better. So the goal is to, after the NCAAs next year, wrestle in the European Championships. So we'll see.
Are they good to go as far as they got a federation and all that?
We spent a lot of this summer trying to figure things out. I thought I'd be wrestling sooner. I thought I was going to be in the Mediterranean Games, then Poland, and then maybe even the World Championships, but they all kind of fell through, and I was a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, I knew that there was a process to it, and so I think, fingers crossed, but I'm pretty sure, everything's ready to go.
What went into that process? What were the hurdles you had to get through?
So a lot of it was just establishing San Marino as a wrestling federation. My brother and I will both be two of the first wrestlers, freestyle at least, that San Marino's had in, I think, over 20 plus years. So they had to reestablish themselves as a federation and then do some other stuff as far as I wrestled for the USA in 2013, so making sure that we get that transfer down, and that was a big part of the process. I was a cadet Pan American Greco wrestler back in the day, so we had to do a transfer from the U.S. So I had to wait till the end of the year for this year. So
is it going to be cool to be the first guy in a country's history for a lot of these things, like Stevan has for Serbia?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the goal for them is to win medals, and that will be the first for the country. But I think just to be able to represent, my mom's side of the family, my grandpa, the Molaronis, that's my mom's side of the family. So they have a pretty big history from coming over here and tile business and all that stuff. So maybe add wrestling to that lineage, and just be able to represent that country is going to be like an unreal experience. So looking forward to it, but I got this NCAA season to focus on.